Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, hello, friends. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
okay, it's fine. So myself, Professor P.K. Sisodia, I'm from Zakir College, and we are just going to start this program of that you're the workshop of introduction to Python for meta analysis of data. Though formally we have inaugural programs in the morning uh, in the offline mode, but due to some technical, we could not have that at that time in hybrid mode. Anyway, so basic program is going to start at ma'am. We have invited our guest speaker, Dr. Sikha Mehta. She is associate professor in JP Institute of Information Technology in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. And she has been teaching over there since 10, 15 years, more than 15 years, and carrying out her research work and had produced two PhD scholars. Anyway, with that, you're the brief introduction. As we are going to start this program on Python programming for that, you're the meta-analysis of data, or you can say that you're the Python programming. Anyway, means it's based on that you're the Python language, which is generally used nowadays in most of that you're the software companies and IT companies. I welcome you all to this workshop and hope you will enjoy your duration, as it is already clear that we will be having this is an online mode. Initially, that first program was in that you're the offline, but for the next 5 days, starting from right now, we will be continuing at in the online mode, and you all are requested to be available and join well in time and discuss the issues related to it. Make it more interactive rather than one way going on. Though it is a workshop and you will have a practical experience on that you're the Python programming. Hope you will enjoy your stay with that. And this program we are conducting under that you're the DBT-STAR college scheme, which is running by the sponsorship from the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, Ministry of Science and Technology, since 2020 onwards. With these words, I welcome you again to this program and request our guest speaker, Dr. Sikha Mehta, to take over and start the proceedings for the next course of action. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir, for this warm welcome. Okay, let's proceed. Are these slides visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So today, first of all, I'm going to give you the brief introduction of Python. So this introduction is not about how to work with the Python, but we are just going to have a glimpse of why we should learn Python. So why it is important to learn a programming language like Python. So in this digital era, right? So we are just going to have a glimpse of all the features and the companies which are working on and the kind of jobs they are looking for, they are providing, right? So we are just going to have a glimpse of that. So this workshop is regarding the introduction to Python for meta-analysis of data. So if you see that from the very beginning, like Peter Novick, he is the writer of the book Artificial Intelligence, which is basically the, you can say, the Gita of artificial intelligence. So according to and he's working in the Google for a long time, and according to him, Python has been important part of the Google since the beginning and remains so as the system grows and evolves. Today, dozens of Google engineers use Python, and we are looking for more people with skills in this language. And it's very clearly, he has clearly mentioned it over here, that they are looking for more people who are working with the skills. So the skill development is very important in this digital era. So if you have certain skills, it becomes very easy for everyone to get the job, right? And Python is one such skill which the companies are looking after. All the software companies and the IT companies, they are looking forward to the people who are well versed with the Python, because the various applications you are working these days, whether it is the Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, so all these big companies, all the social media applications, or these you can say, they are all using the Python for one task or the other. It's like Netflix, that is totally working with a Python. So we use Python through the full content lifecycle, from deciding which content to fund all the way to operating the CDN that serves the final video to 148 million members. So that means that whatever, because we know what is Netflix. Netflix is a social media application which is streaming the videos, and the core is written. So the people have written so many programs. So this is basically a software application, a kind of web application, right? So which is being used by the billions of users, and the data is being streamed. So the streaming is very difficult to be done, and this is one of the critical thing that requires, because we want to watch the videos over the you can say over the internet flawlessly. And we know, see, the speed of the internet that keeps on varying. So how does Netflix is dealing with all such problems? So they are using Python language for the various kinds of tasks which are required to be done in order to solve all kinds of problems that the Netflix face, or you can say for all kind of development purpose. So here you see, like the various programming languages, like you see Python, Java, JavaScript, C++, C#, then C, TypeScript, PHP, Perl, Ruby. Maybe you have heard of few, and others you may not have heard of. But you see that this graph is showing the most in demand programming language of 2022. So this data has been, this graph has been plotted based on the LinkedIn job postings in the USA and Europe. So from here you can see that in USA and Europe, most of the job postings, they are coming up for the Python first, and then for the Java, then JavaScript. So Python is the most sought after skill among the job seekers, right? So you can say the companies are looking forward if you are an expert in the Python. See, it is important that you have to be the expert in Python. You should be able to write good programs in Python. Only then you can get a job. So it's just knowing few lines of you can say, just by knowing basics of Python, you can't do that, but you have to be a good programmer for getting the job. So similarly for the Java, JavaScript, right? Python is good for you can say, it is a journal purpose programming language. It is object oriented programming. It is open source, right? It can be used for various kinds of applications. Like Java is also very popular, but it is mostly the companies are looking forward for the Java programmers when they have to develop the mobile applications using the Android. And the JavaScript, you see, most of the web applications these days, they are developed using the JavaScript only. The JavaScript and the C cascading style sheets, your CSS, right? So you have to look forward for what kind of job you are looking forward to, what kind of expert you want to be, and based on that, see, if you have skills of Python, you have more chances of getting the job, because the companies are looking forward to such programmers. Then what are the features of Python that make it such a popular programming language, that everyone is looking forward to doing all kinds of programming in Python only? So it is very simple and easy to learn. It is more or less like an English language. The way the way you write the English sentences, the syntax of a program is more or less similar to that. So it becomes very easy for anyone to learn the Python programming. Then it is free and open source. Most important thing, you don't have to pay for the software. So it is freely downloadable, and you can do the programming, you can learn it, and you don't have to pay for it, right? Then it is cross platform. cross platform you write. So cross platform here means the different kinds of operating systems, basically. Like you are working on the Linux, some people are working on the Windows, some are working on the iOS. So different people would prefer different kinds of platforms, right? So you may have a Mac iOS, you can say I have Windows, another person may be interested in working on the Linux. But when you are working with a Python, so if you have written some program, let us say in the college you had a system where the Windows was installed and you have written a program, then the same program you can execute on your laptop which is having the Linux at your home, right? So this is cross platform compatibility that is provided with the Python. Then it is portable and extensible. So you can use the Python, it is easily portable to the other programming languages. Like you can embed the other programming code, like you have written some part of the code, let us say you have written some function for the finding the square root of a number, just a simple example, right? For finding the simple square root of a number, you created one program. Now you don't want to redo the thing, so you just want that API to be used, and then whenever we give the number, it should be able to give us the square root of that number. Or let us say you created one calculator, so the code of the calculator is written in Java, then code of the square root is written in C. So all these codes are easily portable in the Python. And similar, and this vice versa is also true. So the Python, you can Python code also can be extended for doing any kind of task. Then it is very expressive, so whatever you write, so that can be expressed as it is in the Python. And it is a interpreted language. So the basically the interpreted language makes it easy for the developers to work at a faster pace. So the syntax that you write in the Python, that is very expressive, so it is very simple. So if you want to print a statement, you just have to write a print, so you don't have to write any more lines before or after that. So you can easily understand what is written in the code and you can interpret that. So we say when we are executing the programs in the Python, that is your Python is an interpreted language. So all the lines of code, they are interpreted one by one at the runtime only. So when the program is executed, so if you get, let us say you have written the 5 lines of code, so and you have some error at the second line. So because it is executing line by line, so if you get an error, so it will stop the execution there only, and it will show you the error number and the kind of error that is there in this particular line. And after that, once you correct it, after that it will move on to the execution of the other lines, right? So these are the various features which make it very suitable for the learners to easily learn and for developing the various kinds of applications. Then whenever we are talking about the advantages of a particular language, there are also the disadvantages associated with, because every coin has two sides. It is Python, it is not the fastest language in terms of the execution time. It is fastest in terms of learning for the development. We can develop the software at a faster pace, but when it comes to the execution, it takes a lot of time. This is because of the simplicity of the syntax that is being provided. Since on the one hand, the simplicity of the syntax, it helps in understanding the language at a faster pace, but this simplicity of syntax, it makes it difficult for the other. So just give me excuse me for a minute. Yeah. So we were discussing about the fastest language. So it is not the fastest language in terms of the execution. It requires a lot of time to execute. When we are talking, see, a lot of time to see, when we are talking about the fastest language and we are discussing about the limitations, it means we are talking about the softwares. We are not talking about the small 3 4 5 lines of programs. You won't find that difference when we are writing the small programs. But when we are talking about the large programs, that means we have thousands of lines of code. At that time you realize that it is taking time to execute those programs. So similarly is the case for the high memory consumption. So high memory consumption is just because of, again, the syntax is the issue. Because of the simplicity of the, you can say, in terms of, because at the back end they have simplified the syntax, so that for making it simple, they are consuming a lot of memory. So it becomes a disadvantage of the Python. Then again, see, when we are writing a program in C or C++ or Java, at the compile time itself we are able to rectify large number of errors, and the runtime we just try to find out what is the runtime error. So all the errors related to syntax and all, they are identified during the compile time only. Since Python is an interpreted language, there is no compile time errors, so all the errors can be rectified only at the runtime. So this also becomes a disadvantage at times. Then the Python API is not fully developed for the database access. So when we have to, you can say, we want the interaction of the Python program with the databases, like we have a big storage community for storing the large amount of data. So it is not having a fully developed API like the ODBC or the JDBC. So this is another limitation of the Python. So these days we have large number of applications. We are using the Python. So Python is can be used for the application development of the web applications. Then it is used in the field of artificial intelligence for developing the machine learning applications, because we have so many deep learning and machine learning packages available. Like you have Keras, you have Skykit, so many other, you can say, the packages are available, or the libraries are available to do the to develop the applications where we require the intelligence. Then we have the computer graphics. Again, we have the various kinds of packages, right? So these packages helps in the easy development. So the use of C100, if you will see, go through the books, you'll find that more than 100 packages or the libraries have already been provided, which help in the developers in developing the various kinds of applications. So when we are using the packages or the libraries, you just have to import the library and use it just using the name of the functions. So you don't have to write the whole code from the scratch. So that leads to the easy development and reduces the development time for the programmers. Then testing frameworks. See, whenever you are writing a program, you need to test it. So you may have studied in the software engineering that testing plays a very important role for everything. Let us say, even if we cook food, we test it whether the salt is proper or the masalas are proper. So you prepare tea, you test it. So this is a kind of testing we are talking about when we are developing a software. So let us say you developed one web application which takes something of a blog. So you will test it whether it is actually taking the input, showing the blogs or not. So everywhere the different testing frameworks, you can say in the Python, again, packages are available for different kinds of unit testing or integration testing. That is part of the software development lifecycle. Then for big data processing, you can load any amount of data into the, so only requirement is that you should have enough memory, enough RAM in your system. You can do any kind of big data processing using the Python API. Similarly, the automation. So if you talk about the different fields like manufacturing and automation, right, automotive industry, so everywhere we are looking at the different kinds of automation is going on. So this Python script, using the Python scripting, we can do all kinds of automation. So we can use the embedded programming also using the Python. Then we have data science. Data science is the buzzword these days. So all kinds of mathematical functions, statistical functions, they are available in order to analyze the data as and when required. So basically, the Python has become popular just because it is having plethora of packages and the libraries, due to which it becomes easy for the developers across the domains to do any kind of task using the Python. So that's why the you can say all the IT companies, so all the companies, whether it is you can say any kind of company you talk about these days, they have the IT development cell. So because everything is digital these days, so they need IT people, and these IT people should have some skills, and Python is one such skill that they are looking forward to. So here you see these are the topmost companies where the Python is being used, like Netflix, JP Morgan, YouTube, Bitbucket, Facebook, Amazon, Reddit, Yahoo, Nokia, all the popular companies, Google, IBM, everywhere you see the Python is a very popular language where people are working upon. Then you see the programming languages according to the company. See, here is a small list of the companies like Adobe, Airbnb, Amazon, Apple, Dropbox, Facebook, Google, the popular companies that you come across. And here you see, if you see the row of Python, majority of the companies except the Airbnb, all other companies are using the Python. So the Oracle, you see 100% they are working on the Python only. And all other companies also, they are, you can say more than 20% of their work is being done using the Python programming language only. And then you see corresponding to that, another popular that is the SQL. So that is structured query language. So that is the storage component. That is not a programming language. For the storage, they are focusing on the SQL. They are using the SQLs. So another demand, see, if you want to go for become a programmer, any kind of a programmer, you go for the Python. And if you are interested as a database administrator or something related to the storage part of the you can say in the technology, so in that case you should be an expert in the SQL, because there is a very big demand for the SQL. So you can, from here you can make an estimate that Python is the most sought after programming language, right? Which or you can say this is the skill that the companies are looking forward to as compared to the other programming languages. And once you are skilled in Python, so you have different career opportunities. You can be a Python developer, you can be a machine learning engineer if you have done some work in the field of machine learning, and data scientist you can become, because using the Python you can load any kind of data and you can do any kind of data analysis, right? So you can play with the data. So you can be a data analyst, data scientist, or you can be an AI engineer or a web developer. So large number of career opportunities are available if you are an expert in the Python. So this is the going to be the day-wise schedule. So today we are going to start with the Python. So we will understand the installation using the Anaconda and the Google Colab, and we will be doing our practice every day in the Google Colab only, right? So if you wish, you can do on your local system also after installing the Anaconda or the Python directly. Then I'll let you know how to do that. Then the next day we will be again, so because we need to understand all the Python fundamentals, data handling and flow control, then the data manipulation using list and dictionaries, data processing using the pandas library, and then finally we'll do one case study, that is data visualization and analysis using Python. So at the end of this workshop you will be submitting one project that will be based on the data analysis using Python. So just keep on doing, practicing with me what I am doing, and finally you will be able to do one project using Python. So let's begin. Okay. Any questions by now? If anybody has any query, you can ask. Any query? Okay. I hope you all have laptops with you, laptops or desktops. Please write yes or no in the chat box itself. This has to be interactive. Yes, please. Okay. So you all have internet connection. Okay, most of them have. So the students who are saying Rahul, Mazhar, they are saying they don't have the laptops, but from tomorrow onwards, you make sure that you have a laptop with you, right? Otherwise, there is no point of learning Python without practicing it. Okay, let's begin. Okay, so do one thing. So can you? My screen is visible, isn't it? Can you see this Google
Yes,
search
ma'am.
engine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So the first thing that I'm going to do is how, see, we have different ways to work with the Python. So we have discussed about the various applications, interpreter. So two things we are talking about when we discuss about Python, that is data and information. So data is, what is data? What is data? Anybody?
Collection
Yes,
of
please.
information.
No, no, no. No. What is data? Anyone else? What is data? Yes, please. What is data? Sheet Kumar? Sheet Kumar? See, I can call up anybody's name, so you have to respond. No, information is not data. Information which we can capture or store, that is not data.
Set of values, we can say. It can be any type of data.
Data is basically, see, when we say what is data, we just say these are raw facts and figures. That's it. Okay. So if somebody is asking what is data, data means raw facts and figures. And when we process that particular data, right? So we process these raw facts and figures in order to get the information, right? Let us say you have alphabets from A to Z, then you have numbers from 1 to 9, right? So these are just facts and figures, right? So when you arrange, let us say when you are arranging these characters in such a way that gives you the name Vijay Singh Man, so that is the information. So when we arrange, yes, please, Ashutosh. Yes, Ashutosh. You want to ask something? Ashutosh raised his hand. Right?
Ma'am, actually,
Yeah.
ma'am, can we
Bolo.
say unorganized information is called data?
But we cannot use the term information over here.
Okay, ma'am.
Information means something, not some knowledge gain we have.
Okay, ma'am.
Right? Right. So we just have to say the raw facts and figures. Right? And when we process these raw facts and figures in order to get something useful where we have some information gain, we are getting some knowledge, then we say it is information. Right?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Then I have written one abbreviation, that is GIGO. Can anybody tell me what is GIGO? GIGO. Have you heard of?
Yes, ma'am. Garbage in, garbage out, I
Right.
guess.
So can you just tell me what is the interpretation? Whatever. That's good. You know the full form. See, garbage in, garbage out. Can anybody want to explain? Anybody who wants to say something?
Ma'am, what I interpreted is that if whatever we have inside us is reflected on outside also. I don't know how much logical it sounds, but yes.
So it is, see, this is a popular term in the field of data analysis, garbage in, garbage out. See, if you have, just think of, see, when we are doing programming, if you are going to write something wrong, so you are going to get the wrong output. So garbage in, garbage out. So that means when we are writing a program, so, see, you must have studied that computers is a brainless machine, right? So in the first book of whosoever has read, it in the first class or third, fourth class, when you started learning about computers, this is the first statement that is being told to you, that computers are the brainless machines. So that means whatever you are going to tell them, they are going to do that particular task. If you write, let us say you had in your mind that you want to add two numbers, right? But when you are writing a program, so when what is the symbol for addition? What is the symbol for addition?
Plus.
Plus. And you had in your mind that you wanted to do plus, but when you are writing a program, you had written minus. So what the program will do? It will do minus only. Right? So whatever input you are going to give, correspondingly you are going to get the output. If you are going to give the correct input, it is going to give you the correct output. If you are going to give the wrong instructions, it is going to give you the wrong answer. So it is up to you to decide, and you are the only one who is responsible for doing the right task. Computers is not responsible for that. So if a computer is responsible, if you had written 4 plus 5, you should get 9, but the computer is not giving 9, that means it is the fault of the computer. But we know it is going to give you 9 only. It is not going to give you any other answer if you have written it correctly, 4 plus 5. Right? So we say GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. Similarly, when we are talking about data analysis, if you have some wrong data, and you are doing the analysis, can you expect the correct analysis from the wrong data? Yes?
No, ma'am.
We can't expect.
No, ma'am.
If we have wrong data, if we have dirty data, right? So we cannot get good analysis and we cannot get good interpretation. So from the dirty data, we'll be doing the wrong interpretations. And if we make some business policies based on these interpretations, we are going to bear the losses on. Right? So the garbage in, garbage out is, you have to understand it properly. Okay. So here you see, we are working with Python. So working with Python, we have 3 types of ways for working with Python. First is default installation that is available from python.org. So let us see here, you can download. So from the downloads, you can download Python, right? So this is Python for Windows. Once it is downloaded, you just install on your machine, and then you can start working. So when we install this Python, right? So here because this is my office machine, I don't have rights, so I may not be. So use admin privileges. No. Okay. Install now. Let me see if I'm able to install on this machine. See, if you have old system, you have to check the version of Python that will be suitable for your system. You see, this version of Python is suitable for the 64-bit. So if your system is 64-bit, you use this version. If it is 32-bit, you have to download the corresponding Python installer. Okay, otherwise it won't be executed on your system. So you have to take care of this thing. So you have a latest version of the Python, that is Python 3.1.0. So you can download it if your machine is 64-bit. So those who are having their laptops, they can try out the installing the Python. Are you trying? Yes, please. All those who are having the laptops, do you have Python installed on your machines?
Yes, ma'am.
You already have? You have Anaconda or Python, or
Ma'am, I have Spider.
you have Spider, so that is the part of Anaconda. Anybody else? So it is important that you have Python installed on your machines. All others, please write in the chat box they are having Python installed in their machines or not. See, when I'll be working, I can tell you to share your screen and show me whether you're working along with me or not. Yes, please. Okay. Others? Okay. Good. Everyone, right? Okay, great. Many of you have already installed. That's nice. Okay. Okay, so here I can find out Python ID. So right, so here you see when I install
Good morning,
this.
ma'am.
Good morning. It's good afternoon time. Okay, you see when I installed it from this Python site, the default installation, so I get this. So you can go to your start and there you can just type Python and you will be able to get this shell. Okay, so here you just write print hello. So this is an interactive mode where we are writing and doing the programming using Python. Okay, anybody who is not able to understand this part, you have to try it out along with me. So,
Ma'am, can the screen size be a little big? Like, we're not able
Yes.
to completely see this.
this one, this black screen of shell.
Yes, ma'am, the like font size
Okay.
is a little small.
Oh, let me check out if there is it. Okay. Oh, there's no way to font. Yes. Okay now.
Yes, ma'am.
please. Is
Sure.
okay. So I'm just trying to tell you how to we have just started with, and so just trying out how we work in this particular shell. So this is an interactive shell where we are just going to write like print. We want to print hello. So let us say I want to do 3 plus 4, right? So right. So this is how it is going to work. So for every, see, we are writing line by line. See, but the problem is when we are doing the programming like this, you have to write every line like this. Now, whatever, see, when we are writing the programs, we have to execute all the lines of code together, right? So this is one way to work. Right, so this is called C Python installation and comes with Python interpreter, Python IDLE. Python IDL is integrated development learning environment, right? So that is GUI, and we have a pip installer also, which can be used to install any kind of packages in this, right? So another way to do the programming is basically we have another integrated development environment that is called as Anaconda. So here you can go to Anaconda distribution, right? So you can download it from here. Right, so by the time it is downloading, just see. So this is the part that is we can work in the Python using 2 modes. So this is 3 ways to work with the Python. First is we have seen Python using the Python, right? C Python that we are talking about. Then using the Anaconda, it is about to download. And the third one is using the Google Colab. So Google Colab is basically the you can say the virtual laboratory that is provided to you online, so that you don't have to bother about the installation on your machines. So you can do all kind of practice online only. So what you are supposed to do, you just write Google Colab. So here you see, welcome to Google Collaboratory. So since you are already logged into Gmeet, so you all have a Gmail account. So only requirement is that you should have a Gmail account. So are you trying it with me? Yes, please. Have you opened the Google Colab with me? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, start Google Colab. You should be able to get this window, and then at the bottom right corner you see it is new notebook. So click on the new notebook. Right, so you will get one notebook over here, and here you can write your complete programs over here, and you can execute them line by line. So here you say you have two things, one is code, one is text. So along, see here you can say this is the coding part where I'm going to write print hello, right, the same thing. So you just click on this and it will be executed. See, this is dependent upon the speed of the internet. If you have good speed, it's going to take less time. If you have low speed of the internet, it will take much time. So first time it may take time, but after that it will start the execution at a fast pace. So let us say I again do. Right, so now it is doing at a fast pace. The first time it is, because see, when we are working in the Google Colab, basically we are requesting the Google laboratory to give us some space. So what they are doing, they are assigning us a virtual system. So that is a virtual machine that is being assigned to us so that we can work on it. So for the assignment task, it takes few you can say some time in the beginning, and after once it is assigned to us, it is going to execute all your commands at a faster pace. So this is how we work in the Google, and for the complete workshop we will be working in the Google Colab only, Glab. So where this program is saved, right? So the thing is where this program is going to be saved, right? So basically see here, when you're writing, you can save it from here. Now glab.inb. So all of you open your drives. In your drives you will see Colab notebooks. One folder is automatically created. Are you able to see this folder? Yes, please. Are you able to see this folder?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody who's not able to see this folder? Anyone who is not able to see this folder? So in your folder you have your file that you just created. I have created this file in front of you, that is glab.ipnb. Okay, right? So when you have created this, so you have options to download any form of file, right? So here you see download, and you can download the Python notebook file as well as the Python file. So if you're working on a local system, you can import this file on your local Python, and then you can also again start working. So there won't be any problem. Okay. And if you want to create new notebook, you can create the new notebook, you can open the new notebook, and you can upload also. Let's say we have created some file, we did some work in the college, and then we are taking this file along with us. So you can just upload that notebook over here. So as it is, so you need not redo the task. All are clear? Anyone having any doubts? Anybody having any doubt? Anyone who is not able to do it? Anyone who's not able to do it? Ram Gupta, can you share your screen and show me? Ram
Okay.
Gupta?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, share your screen. I'm stop presenting and you share your screen. Okay, so you're doing it fine, fine. Okay, that's fine. You can stop sharing. Who else would like to?
Ma'am, actually, I'm getting some error. I just missed something in between because of the network
Sure,
connection.
you share your screen. Will see that what
Alright,
is the
ma'am.
problem. Anika Mittal, I'll see your screen after this. Anika Mittal, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you working?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay. Who was facing the problem? I missed your name. Okay, Kanchan.
Ma'am, like I'm getting some error. I don't know why.
Where I'm not able to see your screen where you're getting the error. Share that. Open that file.
Is the Google tab not visible?
No.
So let me share it again. Is it visible now?
Yeah, it is visible. Yeah. What have you written? PRINT. There's nothing wrong in this.
Ma'am, maybe one of this plus sign. I just clicked on this code one. I don't know what. Which
No,
one?
nothing. Just just delete it and again just click on the code. No, that's fine. There's nothing wrong in that. Just write it again. Print. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, it's done.
Maybe some other character came in. Maybe you copy pasted it from somewhere or what?
No, ma'am, I talked.
Maybe
I just-
some character went down. Fine.
All right, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank
Okay. Okay. Anybody else facing the problem? Okay. Let's get back. Okay, so this is, see, when we do in the script mode, here on the one side you can write the script and on the other side you can see the output over here. Okay, so you can write the complete script over here when we are writing. So script file means you are writing one program at once only. That is basically the script file. Okay, so here first we will learn to write do the interactive programming, then we will be learning to write the scripting. Okay, okay. So I've just written print, welcome to the workshop. You know, as I've told you, printing, if you have to print something directly, so here you can see we have a print. Print is basically a keyword and here it is a function. So whenever we are writing something like this, print, then we have round brackets. So this is called as a function. So everywhere, if you see some word when we are working in the field of programming, so if you see something like this, print, bracket, or you can say here you can have any other name also. And if you find these round brackets along with that, that means it is a function. Okay, so that means it is a function and it is doing some task. right? So we just have to understand what task it is going to do and how we are going to use it. So here the print is a function which help us in printing, right? So printing the output on the screen for us. Like I want to print some text message, so that text message has to be in the quotes. They may be the single quotes or maybe the double quotes. So I just wrote this and then welcome to the workshop. Similarly, using the print, see, I want to see when we are doing this, so I want to do certain calculations like and I want to see the sum or addition or subtraction or whatever, right? Any kind of task that we want to do, right? So I'm just writing it over here. So within the brackets, I have written 12 plus 3 plus 9 minus 3. So here you see, when I execute this, so it is going to evaluate this expression. So in the print statement, we can give the messages like this, which will be printed as it is, or we can do the calculations. It is going to evaluate if something is given within the quotes, whether it is single quotes or double quotes. It is not going to do anything to that. It is going to print this as it is. Let us say if I write it like this, what should be the output? Yes, what will be the output for this?
This will remain same as it is.
Right, so it hasn't evaluated expression, but when we remove this, it will evaluate this expression. So it is giving us the output. Right now, see, this is a case sensitive language. Case sensitive language means we have to understand if we have to print something, we have to write the print beginning with the small letter only, right? So all those keywords, right? So all the API that is written, you can say in Python. So whatever syntax is there, you have to use that syntax as it is. You cannot change it. Like if we write print like this, capital P, try it out. Write capital P and then see, are you getting the error? What type of error it is giving? So it is also very important to understand. See here, it is giving us line number 1 because we had just one line only. So after that, name error. So it is telling name print is not defined. But we say print is defined, but the problem is here print with capital P is not defined, but print with small p is defined. So our Python interpreter will understand this print and give us the answer. Clear this thing? So Python is a case sensitive language. Is it clear? Anyone? Okay. Then simple. All the calculations we are doing, 12 plus 3, all kind of numeric operations that we do. So here you see. So for the numeric operations, you see what is this plus? See, this plus is called plus, minus. These are called as the operators in a programming language. In all the program, whether you talk of Java, you talk of C++, PHP, these are called these symbols that we use for performing the various kinds of operations which are universally accepted. So if you go to any part of the globe, if you are using the symbol plus, that means addition only. If you are using the symbol minus, so that means minus only. See, these are the universally accepted symbols. And when we're doing programming, so here we use star in order to indicate the multiplication. So when we do this, it is going to do the multiplication. Here you see there is a difference when we are doing the division, right? So what kind of division you have learned? Yes, when we do the division, how do we get the remainder and the quotient? You have studied about that? Remainder and the quotient.
By subtracting.
अगर हमें रिमाइंडर चाहिए तो कैसे करते हैं? प्रोग्रामिंग में कुछ आइडिया है? Anyone?
मैम सब्ट्रैक्ट करते हैं.
Quotient symbol.
Pardon? Just repeat.
Double forward slash.
double forward slash nahi, modulo operator,
Ma'am,
right?
patient date symbol.
Yeah, we have different symbols for that. Okay, let us discuss. So when we are using the single forward slash, so we get the output in the decimals. So it is going to see, if we are looking forward to the what kind of division we want to do, we want to have the answer in the floating point number, or we just want to have the whole number, that is integer, right? So if you want to have the decimal division, so in that case you have to use a single forward slash. And if you are looking forward to basically the division, and where you just want an integer answer, so there you will be using the double forward slash. So you have to remember this. Then if you want a remainder, in that case you will be using the percentage symbol, right? So these are the three different types of divisions that we do in the Python, right? And then here, when we are using the double star, that means power, right? If you want to find out the power of any number, so we are going to use the double stars, 12 star star 2. If it is a single star, then it is a multiplication. If it is a double star, then we are taking the power of that. So it means we are saying 12 power 2. 12 power 2 is 144. Let's say if I write just so you take 100, any number you can try it out. Okay, then let us understand the precedence, right? So you all have studied about the border mass. What is border mass? Anybody?
Ma'am, the order of solving any.
Mathematical equation.
Yes, ma'am.
Expression, basically, right? So first, what is the full form? You remember?
Bracket of division, multiplication, add and subtract.
Right. So first of all, we evaluate the expression which is there within the brackets, and after that the first priority is given to the multiplication and division, and then to the addition and subtraction, right? So here, this particular thing, the border mass rule that we have studied, that is called as the precedence over here. We call it as precedency of the operations that we are performing. So here, the precedence of multiplication, division, then modulo operator, this is first. You can say the first priority is given to these three operators, and second priority is given to plus and minus, as it happens in the border mass also. But the only term that we have changed is the nomenclature is changed, so we call it precedence over here. And if we have all these expressions together in the one statement, in the one expression, then all these expressions will be evaluated from left to right, right? So let us say if I have 4 what will be the answer to this? Yes, please. Can you tell me? What should be the answer for this? Are you able to see this? 2 multiplied by 4 divided by 5 minus 9 by 6. Write your answers in the chat box. Write your answers in the chat box, please. At least 30-40 answers I want. Total strength I can see is 60. So all should do that. Okay, let me verify. Correct. So you did it manually, or you executed it? Yes, please. You have done it manually, or you executed this?
Manually, manually.
Okay, both ways. Okay, great. So similarly, So we have to learn that when we are doing that all the calculations, so the same bottommost rule applies over here, because if we won't understand the precedency of the operators, we will not be able to interpret the result why we are getting 9.5. Like if the answer to this is 9.5, why it is 9.5? So we have to understand that this single slash, that is forward slash, it will give you the answer in decimals. Okay, let us try out this double slash. So what should be the answer now? What should be the answer now? Yes?
Ma'am, is it 8 or is it 6 after 4?
This is 5. See, this is 23 by 2 minus 4 multiplied by 8 modulo operator, that is percentage operator, then 5. 8 modulo operator, then 5. Okay? Yes, others please.
Ma'am, 9 only.
All are getting 9?
Yes, ma'am. 9.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. 9.
Verified. Okay, fine. Okay, next we move on. See, when we are discussing about the print statement, so you can do the printing anyways, right? So whether you want to print all the numbers one by one, or you can do the printing together also in one way. So let us say these 3 numbers we wanted to print, right? And after that, again, see, these numbers, because we are not doing anything, they are printed as it is. So we are not writing them in the single or double quotes, because these are the numeric values. Whether you write them in the single quotes or in the double quotes, the output is going to be same. So the only point of understanding is, rather than writing 3 print statements one by one, you can print all the values using a single print statement also. Okay, so this way. Then we have one operator that is called as separator, right? So here you see that when I'm printing these numbers, so while printing I'm getting 10, 20, 30, there are no commas. But when I was using it within, see, this is a standard way of writing the for the printing, that whenever you want to do printing for the multiple numbers, you have to separate them using the commas. For the strings, you have to use the single or the double quotes, and otherwise you have to separate them using the commas. Now, if I want to print those commas, right, or something else in between these numbers, I have to use one operator that is called as separator, SEP equal to. So in the bracket, in the double quotes, what I'm writing comma, so that means all these numbers should be separated by comma. So if it is rather than comma, let us say I want to print them using something else. Let us say I want this operator to lie in between, right? So these are just the ways to format your data. So see, whenever you are doing some kind of task, your data should be presentable. So for making the data or information to be presentable, you need to do the lot of formatting, right? So how to do that particular formatting? So these are the different ways to do the formatting. So here, let us say you want to print star star. So you can do anything. So whatever you write in between the double quotes, so these quotes, that will be printed in between all these numbers. Okay. So along with that, we have another operator that is called an AND. So here you see what I'm writing. So in the first statement, I have written print 2 plus 3. So I'm just trying to tell the user that I'm going to do the addition of 2 numbers, that is 2 plus 3. The 2 plus 3 is equal to, so here this expression of 2 plus 3 will be written as it is. 2 plus 3, this one without quotes, will be evaluated. So the expression will be evaluated and we will be getting the answer to 5. So, and separator is equal to, so we are going to insert, so this separator will be printed between this and this evaluated result, and this will be, yeah.
Can you please again increase the view?
Okay, size.
Yes, ma'am. काफी छोटा दिख
Okay, okay, just let me find out where is the font. View. Tools में कुछ है. Look, wait, I'll try out this way. Yes. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am, it's better now.
Okay.
Ma'am, एक question था.
हाँ.
So like अगर हमें 2+3 and 2-3 सेम लाइन में करना है,
हाँ.
like again दोबारा वो नहीं बनाने, तो उसके लिए like जब मैं कर रही हूँ तो उसमें सिर्फ नीचे वाला दिखा रहा है, तो हमें दोनों एक साथ में करने हो तो
Show me. आप शेयर करो क्या कर रहे हो आप.
एक मिनट मैम. Ma'am, like this 2+3 and 2-3, so इसमें only
I'm not able to see your screen. You have to share it.
Is it visible now?
Wait. Huh.
So like this 2+3 and 2-3.
Yes. See, when you are doing it like this, it will be evaluating only the last expression. So you just use both of them in the print.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
So like without print ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
हाँ नहीं, without print ऐसा नहीं होगा.
Alright,
So
ma'am.
it is like in the interactive mode it is considering. So it will be evaluating only the last expression that it is getting.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, got it.
Okay. Oh, just a minute. Is it visible? My screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right. So what we are doing at the end, we are giving some space, and after that again a new statement will be printed. So here you see the difference. See, when we are writing, it's okay. Let me do one thing. You see what we are getting. Here you see this 2+3 is printed as it is. Then if we don't write this, let us say 1 minute. Right, so I'll remove this. So see what we are getting, 2+3, then space, then 5, right? And when I write this, what is the role of separator? It is assigning this equal to sign in between, right? So that we are able to get the appropriate expression. So 2+3 is equal to 5. Clear this thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So similarly,
what is the end function doing? End equal to?
And is giving you the space basically.
Okay.
Right. So when we use the multiple expressions, then we are able to see that, because after this we have nothing, so we are not able to see this. But when we execute these multiple statements, so here you can see at the end we have space in between. Right. So here we have the first statement, then next statement, from the 8 plus 9 is equal to 17. Then the third statement, 2 multiplied by 3 is equal to 6. And here you see, if in the end you are writing something else, so we have written ... You can see that because space we are not able to make out. So these dots are available over here. They are visible over here at the end of this expression. And then we have one escape character. We will be starting in detail the various kinds of escape character, that when, see, all these expressions here you see, they are written in the same line. But we don't want all the expressions to be written in the same line. We want every line, the way we are writing print 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answers should be visible like this only. So for that, we have to write \n. \n will print the new line. So it will take the cursor to the new line and it will print whatever is there in the new line only. So let us say we do this also here. So here you see, So the next line is being, so this is printed, but since in the second from 8 and 9 statement, after this we have not given a backslash n, so these two are printed in the same line. And let us say if we also assign over here, right, so everything will be printed in the new line. Clear this thing? What is the importance of this backslash n? So this is a new line escape character, we say. So the backslash is basically an escape character that is used to change the behavior, right? So n is nothing, but when we use n along with the backslash, right, so its behavior is that it will take the cursor to the new line. Clear this thing? Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. So next we move on to the Python character step. So what is considered as a character in the Python? So all the letters from A to Z, whether they are capital or small, or the digits from 0 to 9. Then we have the special symbols like space, plus, minus, multiplication, division, stars, brackets, everything you see over here that is considered as a character over here. Then white spaces, that is the blank spaces, tabs, carrots, return, new line. Then all other, even along with that, the Python can process all ASCII and Unicode characters. So they are also considered as the characters over here. Then we talk about the tokens. So what are tokens in Python? The smallest individual unit in a program is called as a token or a lexical units. So when we are writing the programs or whatever we are doing, the all kinds of tasks we are doing in the programming, so everything, so what is the smallest unit over here for working? That is called as token. So in the Python, we have different kinds of tokens like keywords. So what are keywords? Here you see the print. The print over here, this is a keyword. We cannot use print anywhere for our own task. So here you can see if I write, let us say, 1 minute. Let us say I'll write print is equal to 2 plus 3, and then you see, right? So it is going to give you error. So we have a set of keywords, so which are called as special words. So these, you cannot use these words as variable names in your programs. You have to use for them for the purpose they are being used. So the literals, basically they are the values, everything that you assign. Like I have assigned this value 2 plus 3. So this is a literal. So whatever values I am going to assign, they are all called, whether it is a numeric value or decimal value or floating point value, or you can say the Boolean value, a string value, they are all called as the literals. Then we have operators. Operators we have seen. See, all these are this plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulo. All these are called as the operators over here. So these all these you can say operators. Operator is a term used in every programming language. So the keywords, literals, operators, identifiers, the names that we assign, right? So identifiers are nothing but the names. Let us say I assign a name. Let us say if I write x is equal to 2 plus 3. So I have assigned a name to this particular expression, right? So this is basically x is basically the identifier over here, right? So after that I can use this identifier for just printing or any other tasks. Let us say print x okay, I have used it over here, so I have to resolve this problem first. See, since you just try to understand. So this is a complete environment where we are working. Since the print was created as one variable, one, you can say, so we were using it, so that was used as an identifier, which was not allowed. So when we are using it again, it was showing the previous error itself. So I'll have to remove it first, and after that only I can move ahead. Okay. Next subject is not callable. Why it is doing so? It's not in somewhere we have used X. Let me see. No. Okay. Let me. Okay. Let me do it again. Okay, so these are the basically the identifiers. Here we have done these identifiers like num1, num2. So whatever we are doing, so all that task basically we are doing. So all the names that we assign, they are called as the identifiers when we are doing. So we'll be doing it. So we are here. Okay, punctuators are nothing, just the symbols that we use, the comma, all the separators that we use anywhere, they are called as the punctuators. Then we have identifiers, they are the names given to the different parts of the program. For example, the variables, list, dictionaries, functions, they are basically called as the identifiers. Like we have a long, as I have told you, the identifiers, these are just the names which are being assigned to all the variables. As you can consider it as a long sequence of letters or digits, like I have taken, I can make any variable, or the first character must be a letter. For example, this counts as a letter, it can contain zero. See, there are certain rules to be followed when we are talking about the identifiers. So when we are assigning the names, we have to follow the rules. So it can be a long sequence of letters and digits, or first character must be a letter, so this counts as a letter underscore. So we have seen, because we have seen that what is considered as a character set, since it is considered as a character set, so we can use it over here. So it is important that you cannot start any variable name with a numeric or any digit. You have to start with it with a character. So it can contain 0 to 9 except for the first character. Here is repeated this thing, right? It is case sensitive. We have just checked that when we are writing the capital print with capital P or the small p is considered, otherwise we are getting an error. So all the identifiers are case sensitive. So if you write, let us say you have written Shikha in capital and you have written Shikha in small letters, so both of them will be considered as different. And your name that you are assigning, that must not be a keyword of the Python, as I've just told you. So all these are the examples of the various files. So here you can say my file and my file. These are two different identifiers. These are not same because it is case sensitive. So again, so the Python literals means the constants. So you can have the string literals, like anything we are writing within the codes, that is basically a literal, right? So the numeric literals, all the numbers. The Boolean literals, they are zeros and ones, or the Boolean literals may be like true, false that we are talking about. And then we can also have the special literals. Then what is, see, when we are learning programming, the important thing, the most of the time that we come across is variables. So what is variable? Basically variables are identifiers whose values can change. Like if let us say I have creating one variable as x, so at times I can give the value of x is equal to 5, another time I can give the value of x to be 9. So it can be, see, basically variables are the, you can say, the named memory spaces. So why we are we are calling it as variables? Because their values can be changed, and when we are creating a variable, basically we are occupying a space in the memory. So you can imagine it as like this. Let us say your memory looks like this, right? So when we are writing variable, let us say variable x, right? So here you see when I'm writing variable x, so this particular cell, let us say this is the yellow cell, this is the memory location, and I have assigned a name of X to this memory location, right? So whenever I'm doing X is equal to 5, let us say this is the part of my program. In program, I write X is equal to 5. In the memory at the back end, the value of 5 is being assigned over here. So we call these variables as the named memory locations. So this is what is happening when we are creating the variables. And when we are saying the constants, let us say we create one constant W. So similarly, it is also assigned a memory. So in this case, let us say we initially assigned this value to 7. So if we declare it as a constant, you cannot change the value of this. Right? So in between, this value cannot be changed, but in the original point, you can change the value. So once fixed, let us say we are talking about pi. What is the value of pi?
3.1.
What is the value of pi?
3.14.
3.14. So we don't want to change that particular value, isn't it? So that has to be constant. So we will declare that value of pi to be the constant, and it will remain same throughout the program, whatever kind of task we do. But if we want to change the, let us say we have to compute the area or the circumference of a circle. So we have a radius or we have a diameter, right? So diameter and the radius can change, but the value of pi cannot be changed. So what is the formula for the area of a circle? Pi r square. Right? So the value of the pi remains same, but value of r can change. So the value of r will be the variable, value of pi will be a constant. Right? So the variable age can have different values for different persons. So variable name should be unique. So you cannot use the same variable name for the different purpose. So it has to be used if you are using a variable name for a particular thing. Let us say we are using a variable name gender to assign the gender, then message, then price. So this is how we assign. Right? So wherever a variable name occurs in the program, the interpreter replaces it with the value of that particular variable. Okay. So now you do one thing, you write a Python program to find the sum of two numbers. We have enough to do this small task. So you just write a program to find the sum of two numbers. Yes, please. Doing?
I am like 2 plus 2.
Yes, you declare two variables and then you print take the sum in the, okay, I'll show you one example. Okay, you see this example. So I have written one Python program to find the sum of two numbers. So I have taken num1, this is the name of variable 1. Okay, this is variable 2 because two numbers are required, num1, num2. Then we store the results here, and we can also do this. Print num1 plus num2. We can do like this also. Okay, you can do it anyways. And what I have done wrong? Why it is not doing so? Wait. Here you see the working of the interpreter. So what the interpreter is doing, so here we are just whenever see the print because there was error in the previous line, then it was not moving further, but it is executing. First line is correct, second is correct, third was correct, but fourth was wrong. So it was giving an error in that particular line. Okay, let's go. I think I have to re-execute this. It is creating some problem. Let me reload it. Okay, you do by that time. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. One minute. By that time you finish your work?
I'm done.
Okay. So wait. This has to be in the text. Wait. Okay, so it is showing the result. Okay, you do another program. Write a Python program to find the area of rectangle given its length is 10 units and breadth is 20 units. Okay. Let me see who all are doing. Okay. Ritu Arora, show me your screen. Share your screen. Ritu? Ritu, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. I'm trying to connect.
Okay.
Is it visible? Is it visible?
Yeah, it's coming up. No, you have to write it. You have to use one variable, not to you, but somebody is asking a question. So you have to define it yourself. Pi, you have to define yourself. You just write PIE or something. Okay.
This was for the sum, and for area I'm doing.
Okay, good. Fine. So, okay. You can stop sharing, Ritu.
Okay.
Vishal Sharma, are you there? Vishal Sharma. Vishal Sharma. Sanjeev Kumar. Sanjeev Kumar. Sanjeev Kumar. Okay. Okay. What happened? You're getting an error? See, you have used the variable name as area of rectangle with spaces. So if you want to use big name, right? So you give underscore, join them. You cannot use a variable name with the spaces. Okay. So these are three different words they are considered. So you just use, change it. The name of this variable is too long and it is separated by space. So you can't give this way. Okay. Just change this. You will get the output. Okay, Vishal? Change the variable name for area of rectangle. Jesh Adhikari. Jesh. Anybody else facing any problem? Jesh?
I don't have my laptop right now.
You don't have laptop. Okay, just
Not right now.
okay, just arrange it for the next classes. Okay. Himanshu Bhatt. Himanshu Bhatt. You have a laptop? Share your screen if you have it. Okay, anybody else who is facing any problem or getting any error? Okay, fine, Himanshu. That's fine. Okay. Let's move ahead. So let us see what are the data. What are the data types in Python? So data types means the type of data that we can store in the different variables. Now you see by writing the programs, you have like used the L, B. बच्चे आपका mute कर लो.
Ma'am, are you sharing your screen?
Yeah, isn't it visible?
No, ma'am.
Okay, because others were sharing. Now I'll share it again. Resume presenting. Is it visible now? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we are discussing the various types of data types in Python. See, we have written like over here in this program, we have written num1 is equal to 10. So the data types are predefined. So
Ma'am,
what?
I don't think it is visible now.
Okay, let me share it again. Wait. I'll stop and then share again. Now, is it visible?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay now? Okay. See, like when we are talking about the data types, so data type means type of data that we want to store. We want to store the numeric data or we want to store the string type data. So whatever kind of data we want to store, see in the different other programming language, like when we talk of C, Java, everywhere we have to specify in the very beginning that what kind of data will be stored in this particular variable. Like you have written the program to find out the sum of two numbers or to find out the area of a rectangle. You used the variable names L, B, right? But nowhere you have written what type of data will be stored in the L or what will be type of data will be stored in the num1 or num2. So we are just assigning the data. So you can say that the data type is identified by the interpreter itself. So it will just assume that if 10 is stored, 10 is a numeric value, so the data type of the num1 has to be int, right? And similarly for the second one, if we store some other string value, it will assume that the data type of that particular variable name will be of that type only. Since this task is being done at the back end itself, so that's why it takes a lot of time in the execution, because so many tasks of the interpretation it has to do itself. So implicitly it has to understand, we are not specifying anything explicitly. So here you see the various kinds of data types in Pythons. Like we have numbers. For the numbers, we have the integers, like we assigned the numbers from 10, 20, 30, right? These are the integer types. Then we have the floating point. Floating point basics. See, integers are the whole numbers. Then floating points are the decimal numbers like 2.5, 3.8, like that. Then we have the complex numbers. What are complex numbers? Like you can assign... Yeah, with the iota, right? Let us say if I write 4 plus 5j, right? So 4 is whole number, then 5j is a complex part. So here j will be defined later on. We are going to assign some value, based on that it will be evaluated, so it becomes a complex number. Similarly, in the integer we have the boolean values. Boolean values are like true or false. So here the boolean values are also integers, like they are zeros or ones. 0 means false and 1 means true. So they are indicated like this. Besides that, we have other data types in Python, like the sequence, like we have strings. String is basically a sequence of characters. And similarly, we have the list and the tuples. So list and tuples we can create using any of the, you can say we can create a list of the names, we can create a list of the numbers. So depending upon the requirement, we create the sequences, right? So we will be discussing about this all these sequences and all these data types in detail in the further classes. Then again we have the other data types, that is sets. So sets, we see, when we are going to study about this, we will understand what are the main features, like what is the speciality of this particular data type and for what kind of applications we are going to use that. Similarly, we have none, we have mappings, we have dictionaries. So like you, as you say, the word dictionary is written, so here we everything is stored in the form of keys and values. Like we say, we have a in your mobile phones, your mobile phones, your contact numbers are stored. So your name and your mobile number. So your name is a key and the mobile number is the value assigned to that. So this is how the data in the dictionaries is being stored. So we are going to discuss these things in detail. Then in the string literals, so we have two ways of writing the string literals. It is single line or it is multiple line. So in the single line, we have seen we are just writing hello in the print, so we are able to write as it is. But when we have to do the multi lines, let us say we want to write a paragraph and we want that paragraph to be printed as it is, right? So in that case, you have to assign that that particular you can say the multi-line string has to be printed like this, that you have to assign 3 quotes in the beginning and 3 quotes at the end. So everything will be printed as it is, the way you have written it. So here you see, this is a single line string literal. We have just written a is equal to hello. It is going to print as it is. Now let us say we write it like this. Right, so this is here you see that when we are writing this, I have written backslash. So backslash means that this line is being continued, because it happens when we are writing, let us say you write something in the Word or Notepad. So when the line is completed, it will again go to the next line by itself and start type. Your typing will go line by line. But here, what we have to do when we are doing the programming, so you have to specify it so that you don't get any errors. So what we are right, if we want to continue writing the same sentence in the multiple lines, so you have to use the backslash and it is going to give you the output like this. But you see, when we have written hello or whatever sentence we have written, it is coming in a single statement. It is not coming in the different lines. So in order to do this particular task, what we have done is a is equal to, we are writing 3 quotes. So this is multi-line text or the multi-line string literal, and at the end again we are writing. So when we execute this, everything will be printed as it is, line by line. So you don't need to specify the backslash n. So you may say that we can use the backslash n, but if you are writing, let us say you have 10 lines of code, how many times you will be repeating that backslash n? So it's better to use this multi-line string literals in order to do this particular task. So as we have seen the string literals, so we have 2 types of string literals, single line and the multi-line. Now let us take see here, when we are doing this kind of programming, so we have taken the numbers, we have written the numbers here only. So this is not basically, when we are doing programming, this is not considered to be a good way to do programming, because every time we execute this, it is going to give us the same result. So if we want to print the other results, we will have to change the program. So if we want the user to give us the input and then find out the results, right? So first let us understand how we take the string input. So because for integer we need to do some typecasting. So first we will understand taking string as a input. For string as a input, what we have one input function. So I told you in the very beginning, if you come across any name along with these round brackets, that is called as a function. So this allows Python to take input from the user. So your function is input string. So by default, it takes the string as an input. So we are going to write it like this: x is equal to input, enter message. Enter message is, it is just asking the user. We are telling the user to write something. So let us try out this thing. Okay, so x is equal to, I have written x is equal to input, what is your name? So I'm just asking telling the user, see, when we are writing this, it is some message. So I'm just telling user that you have to enter your name over here. After that, I'm just printing my name is, along with that, whatever value has been given by the user, that will be printed over here. And type x is going to tell us the data type of this. X. What type of data is being stored? So what do? Let us say I enter Shikha and just press enter. So after that the next line will be executed. So it was stopped over here. You can see it was waiting for the me to give the input. Once I have given the input and entered and I pressed enter key, then it is printing my name as Shikha and it is str, that means data type of this access str. So now you just do one thing. You write a program to input the name, roll number, and stream from the user and display the message as hello name, like, and your stream is this, your roll number is this. Start writing. So you understood what you have to do. You have to take as input the name, roll number, and stream from the user and print the hello message like hello Shikha. And then along with that also print the stream of Shikha is this, stream or roll number of Shikha is this. Something like this you have to print. Again, I will ask anybody to share the screen to see this. Once you have written, you type in the chat box. I would like to see your screen. Anyone who has done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please share your screen.
Was it visible, ma'am?
It was visible, now it's gone. Do it again. Good. Fine. Anyone else? Anyone else who has done it? Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you explain it once again, please?
Just repeat what you said.
Could you please explain once again?
Okay, sure. See, what we are doing is, so now we want the input from the user. See, one way is I can write over here, x is equal to, is it visible?
No, it's not visible.
Okay, let me do it again. Now, is it visible now?
No. Yeah,
No?
now it is. Now it is visible.
Yeah, okay. So let us say, see, now the thing is, like here when we were writing the program, so we had assigned the values over here only, right? But now we want to take the input from the user, right? So how we can take the input from the user? So for taking the input from the user, we have one function that is called as input, and within the bracket we are just writing a message. This is just a message for the user to read and understand what kind of input we are expecting, right? So you can write it like I have written, what is your name? So when a user will enter some string, if I write what is your roll number, so I'm expecting that the user will write some numeric value, right? So that way this is just a message, and when the interpreter will execute the statement, so this will show you one box like this. This is an input box. So in this input box, let us say I write Shikha, or you can write any name, right? And this, what is your name, is written in front of that. What is your name? The same statement is written. Along with that, we have a text box. Now, since see, here you can see it is just scrolling, it is waiting for me to respond. So when I press the enter key, it will be executing the next statement, that is print my name is X. What is being stored in the X? That is Shikha. My name is Shikha. After that, this is just a statement for you to understand that what type of data, in order to see what is the type of the data in X. So it is showing str, that means it is a string type data that is being stored in the str, right, in the X. So now similarly what you have to do is, rather than writing what is your name, along with that you have to print the roll number stream. So you will have to repeat this statement 3 times. Input, again name, then let us say like this you can do. So here you, rather than what is your roll number, right, then stream, right? So this is, and here we have to change it, right? So let us say it is X, Y, Z, right? So along with that, now you just have to print it. Name is equal to this, then comma, then roll is equal to, again whatever is the variable name, Y, then stream is equal to comma Z. Okay, so we are just printing this now. Okay, I've written zip. Fine. So now see, first it is executing the first statement. It will show you the execution line by line. I wrote Shikha, then enter. It is executing the next line, asking me the roll number, then again enter. Stream, let us say science. Okay, again. So now name Shikha, roll number 123, then the print statement is being executed. Name Shikha, roll number 123, stream is science. Is it clear?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, then we'll be giving you one assignment today, so you have to complete it. Fine. So I'll discuss, Dr. Dheeraj will let you know the details. So you just complete that assignment on time. Fine. So that's all for today. So we'll see you tomorrow again, same time, 3 p.m.
Ma'am,
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, Akib. हाँ, बोलो.
Ma'am, can you please share your code file for reference?
Yeah, sure, I will share.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll ask sir to create one classroom. I'll upload it there. That will be easy for everyone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay.
थैंक यू मैम.
धीरज सर, आप एक क्लासरूम ही क्रिएट कर देना. मैं उसमें असाइनमेंट भी डाल दूंगी इनकी ना. एक मैं चाह रही हूँ कि प्रोग्रामिंग असाइनमेंट दे दें
एक
इनको.
व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप मैंने क्रिएट किया हुआ है, तो मैं
Okay.
उसमें आपको डाल लेता हूँ, ऐड कर लेता हूँ, आप
ठीक
वहाँ
है.
शेयर कर लीजिएगा.
ठीक है, ठीक है.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.